was about a month in to being a creative and wanted to just give the hell up, right? Just wanted to give up. And I know everyone knows what that feels like. You feel like no one's watching your stuff. You feel like you're not going to make any money. You feel like you know what you're talking about. You feel like it's just fill. And all the fill leads to give up. We want to sometimes give up on ourselves. We want to give up on a process. We want to give up on our friends. And I'm like, just cut it out. That's what I want to say. Just cut it out. No. You can't feel that way. Nope. And then it's like, you just said earlier, our feelings. And I'm like, yes, you feel it. Now cut it out. Because you're worth something. You're worth more than the idea and the thought of just giving up. Now, when the thoughts we go through affect us, they affect our work. And when our work gets affected, then our output, our money, all of that time gets affected. And at New Person News, we developed a playbook because what you're doing is like a game, honestly. It is, there's sportsmanship, there's competitiveness, and there's strategy. And when you have a strategy, when you have a destination, giving up is harder to do. So we go through, what is it that you even do? Some people just know they want to be creative and they don't even know what it is that they're going to be focusing on. And then you give up before you even started. Then how long you're going to put into it, right? How long are you going to do what we come up with? Are you going to be a creative for 20 years, for 30 years? Like, what are you going to do? We bring it down. What are you going to do in your 6 months? We go through your 6 months and we go through your 1 year. Because that's a lot of time, but it's also a little bit of time that can really provide focus, strategy, and a pepping and stuff. Then, where are you even going to be seeing that, right? So we're like, what are you doing and what are your goals? And hopefully if you did not give up on watching this video yet, you're still with me and you're like, okay, yeah, what are my strategies? What are my goals? What am I doing? Where am I going to be seen? Which is social media? How many times, how many times I hear people say, I don't even use Facebook. I just gave up. How do you give up where 1 billion people can see your music? How you just give up on that? 1 billion people. Never. All over the world. And you're just like, man, can't do it. I'm like, no, you can do it. There is nothing in this world that you just can't learn. Like, I believe that you could learn how to be an astronaut. Like, you can't tell me that there's something I can't learn. Now, there's like 7 different social media apps. I'm not saying you're going to be an A student at all of them. I'm just saying that you can learn all of them. Then of that, analytics is a thing. Analytics is a word that scares people. It scares you. It's like when we're in school and it's like, let's learn calculus and statistics. And we're in there like, when are we ever going to use this? Like, that's how we felt. Like, when are we ever going to use this shit? Now we're entrepreneurs. And you hear the word analytics. And it's not just who likes my stuff. And you put a question in your Instagram story. And 5 people engage with it. And you're like, well, fuck it. 5 people engaged. that's my analytics. You feel so bad about it. You're just like, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I'm like, no. That personal experience that we provide has a real understanding of analytics that goes beyond just what seems like just a failure. Then, okay, there's looking at the content that you put out. What about the content you need to put out now? What about the time that it's going to take? What are the steps? What are we going to do? You know, when you have a good plan, it's harder to give up. It's harder to give up when you know that you can do A, B, and C, and it's going to get you some results. Because you don't want to look like the person that just gave up on something. Like, people be like, when you had that sweet job that paid you a lot, was around the corner, and you just quit it, people be like, why would you? They look at you like you slow, like you stupid. Don't nobody want that feeling. So we definitely, when we can see a path and a plan, it makes it harder for us to give up. We're ready for it. Then there's social media, right? But your social media is supposed to take you somewhere. Where's it taking you? You know, what's your website? What's that looking like? Then you're on your website. We talked about your social media. We went through your goals. Like, how can you give up after all of that? Like, how could you not want to do what you were creatively meant to do? When you went through all of the steps and combed through your mind and utilized our resources and utilized our mind and had this real supportive effort, the people you meet along the way, the network that you meet that make you feel like you could do the impossible, that are here for you. You can't give up. You can't stop. You gotta stick to it. You gotta stick to the plan. Be consistent. And then we're in it and we're like, how are we even going to pay for this? Because when I feel broke, I don't want to do anything. I just want to say like, I'm broke. And I sit with like my hands on my head and I just somehow feel like I'm fucking Harry Potter and I'm just going to like blink the money to me. Something like I got this. Finances is the #1 killer of everything. It's the #1 killer of dreams. It's the #1 killer of marriages. It's the #1 killer of if you a parent, your child mad at you, they can't get them new sneaks. Like, money really makes us think. It makes us feel bad. So we know that, and we talk about it. We have strategies. We look at what a creative budget is. We define what a creative budget is. It is not just whimsical. It is a very focused and directional space and place to be in. So even on, on the days that it gets really rough and you don't know if this is what you're meant to do, I'm here to tell you that you are very valued and you're meant to do it. You just have to stay consistent in what you're doing. And you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you're doing. You have to believe in your team. You have to believe in the people you seek help from. So if you're watching this, there's an inkling in you that's like, I need some help. So if you're watching this, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is not give up. Cut.